Sort of rainbow visible here. This is the first stop on a almost 3-week vacation trip. This is close to downtown Munich, Germany, at a Hilton hotel. So, as my wife pointed out, this is about the most complicated plumbing situation that you've seen in a bathroom. This controls the water for the spout here going into the tub. This controls the water going to the shower. This controls the temperature going to the shower and probably the temperature going to the tub, but you can have the shower going on without going through the tub at all. Towel rack there. Both towels already been used. They don't seem to have a low water or larger water flush for this toilet. It's just one setting. Adapting to European electrical outlets, my wife bought a packet of 6 of these more than a year ago from Amazon, and then that allows plugging in of various charging units. This one is built into the electrical connections at this hotel room. Now, these are set up so that they can switch between 120 volts or 220 volts, 110 to 220, and so it's just a matter of having the plug to get into some of these holes that don't have these adapters. Now the one thing that is a problem is the my electrical shaver does not switch between 110 and 220, so I have a small transformer that I've been using whenever we travel to Europe in order to get that current step down from 220 to 110. And that looks like this. This goes into the outlets, which are recessed. This transformer goes into that adapter, which steps it down to 110 volts. And then the power cord for the shaver goes into that outlet. A year ago we were in Spain as well as Switzerland, and we didn't have one of these types of pre-made adapters, and so this was essential to use the electric razor, to have this adapter plus the step-down transformer to make this 110 razor work. We had asked for 2 twin-size beds, and we ended up getting what looks like a king-size bed, which is the size of 2 twins, but not separated. Or maybe it is separated, I'm sure. In any fashion, it's unusual in Europe to have 2 queen-size beds in the same room. But there's also this little couch that if it gets to be too uncomfortable, I might shift over to here. We're using this long counter here to put all our junk on. And then there's this one suitcase holder, and then there's a little cabinet with closets in it. And then the way to the bathroom. In a lot of American hotels, there's no operable window, and this has a sliding glass door, so you can actually step to the outside. So this is day 3 of our Backroads stay. We've just transferred to a new hotel, which looks like Heinz Finkler, and I haven't found a printed thing. They seem to have to do it in the script for each time I've seen it instead of printed. So this is the hotel room, which has this sitting room here. They dropped off our bags in what is obviously the living room or sitting room, and then there's 15 steps to get up to the level where the beds are, bathrooms, and there's no direct way to get from an elevator to here without going up and down steps. So this is not for the it's not for people who don't have good mobility. We did our usual, requesting 2 twin beds instead of 1 continuous bed. Closets in these cabinets. And this is most of the bathroom. 3 steps up, about 2 steps up, and then swing your leg in to this tub to use the shower. Bidet, this heated drying rack for towels. And we're just going to have to tote all those suitcases up here. I don't see any other way around it. Now the other half of the bathroom is the toilet through this door. So the bathroom, which is at the top of the stairs, has a sink and toilet. This is the 3rd hotel we stayed at, and the only one that had a plug for a shaver without a converter was the hotel we had in Munich. That had a 110 and a separate 220 plug-in. So you always have to have a converter for electric razors no matter where you are. Okay, here's block spelling of the hotel name. So I managed to bring up all the suitcases. So if you come here, make sure you bring along your manservant, which is what my wife did. In this bathroom, my wife already found it's a very slippery bottom, so she stuck a towel on the bottom there. And very tough to climb over this and step into it. I think I might just sit on the ledge there and then stand up. It's sort of like getting on a bike backwards, but not enough to swing your leg around quite all the way. But and typical of most, or not most, but many European settings, is they don't put either a shower door or a shower curtain to retain the water inside the shower. This is day 5, and actually the view from our hotel room balcony. It is shocking how difficult it is to walk downhill to the main city center, and then to walk up the opposite side to get to the restaurant we went to. We ended up taking a taxi home because it was so brutal for that walk. If I can remember the name of the town, something like Kitzbühel, I don't know. An interesting and or frustrating situation of the hotel rooms here is, instead of having double outlets about every 12 feet and additional ones elsewhere, They seem to have a single outlet on each wall, great distances away. In this case, they have one on each side of the bed, but it runs a lamp, and so if you want to charge something, you're out of luck. I was using this outlet by the door to charge my cell phone, and then the next outlet I think runs this lamp. And then there's two outlets in the bathroom, which like one can run a shaver or a hairdryer. So we haven't really solved the, oh, here's an outlet on this wall. So unlike America, where you're supposed to have every 12 foot you're supposed to have a double outlet, here you have far less than that in a place this large, and it's a single outlet. So this is the second floor of our hotel, the Tennerhof, and this is the elevator that takes you to the second floor. So this is 20, 21. However, 22 is up all these steps, so not quite there for some of the rooms. So this is our fifth hotel since we've been in Europe. I guess the first three in Germany and the second two in Austria. This one was Salzburg, just arrived a short time ago. So we're trying to figure out how to get settled in. And suitcase there, small suitcase there, small suitcase here, and then the window opens up still. Toiletries bag, and the window opens up here. And a large suitcase in here. Dirty clothes on top of the safe. Then this has a lot of shelves. I was able to put a lot of items in here that I'll need in the evening. And then extra pillow, a couple of bed cushions. Entryway and bathroom. This is a flush lever there for the toilet. So this covers half of the shower when in use. So there's still potential of spilling, but should be able to control it enough. Now this has a control for the lighting of the hotel room, that if in order to make the lights work. Then one really interesting and strange situation is, for the last week I've had a cough which is worse in the evening and throughout the night and the morning. My wife had one for 4.5 weeks, and now I've had it for slightly over a week. And she can't get much sleep with me coughing throughout the night. So, the bed we have, which I just leave it up to your imagination, is two twins side by side, and they're like a twin foam mattress. So we just tested it out, and what we found is that the foam mattress will fit on the floor from this door to this door, and we just sort of compress the corner there. And so if we have to get out in a hurry in the middle of the night, it's not going to work. But with this closed door, it'll give her a chance to get some sleep, and I'll cough when I cough and not have to worry about waking her up. I have not been taking videos of all the places we stayed this time, and it's the Wolf Dietrich Altstadt Hotel. I tried a number of different cards in here, and it's not just that it makes something opaque to make it work. You remove the card in about 15 seconds, it shuts off the lights, and then it won't turn back on with just like a credit card or something opaque. So it must be reading something on this card to authorize it to turn the lights back on. So it is a pretty effective system. This is the second of hotels that have a 110 connection for electric shavers. The other three hotels had no such connection, so you had to bring along a transformer block for that. That's about it for Salzburg here. This is on a train leaving Salzburg in Austria. Now the real big difference is if you can see and feel the amount of rocking the train has. There's relatively little of it here on this European train, whereas you take an Amtrak train and it's lots more rough. To keep the tracks in better shape. Makes for a smoother train ride. The baggage situation is not what we hoped for. We ended up having to lift one bag way above to this 45-pounder, and then 4 other smaller bags that we hoisted up above. We found one space that we stuffed one bag in the middle of the car storage, but it was much tougher than we expected. So our last stop was a town called Buchs, B-U-C-H-S. And after we left Buchs, the train started going in the opposite direction from where we entered. So everybody's facing the opposite direction of travel unless their seats were already facing the wrong direction of travel. A little disturbing for some stomachs, perhaps. Okay, this is the 6th hotel type place that we've stayed so far this year in Europe. And this is the shape of the electrical outlets in Switzerland. The same adapter which fits in Germany and Austria also fits in Spain, and also fits here in Switzerland. So I have a Norelco razor here. In order for it to make it work on 110 volts, I have to have this step down transformer which drops it to 110 volt, and then it plugs into the proper voltage. Most of the other stuff we have is 110 220 adaptable. My wife got a 6-pack of these adapters from Amazon before we left, actually before we left last year, maybe even before that. And that pretty well carries us for most things. My wife has 4 different items that she needs the adapter for. A CPAP breathing machine, and then her couple other electronic devices, and well, maybe 3 different electronic devices that she recharges. I usually use 2 of them. One for the cell phone, and then I'll, when that's charged, I can switch to other devices I want to charge that don't discharge quite as quickly. Now, what's interesting here in this place we're staying in Switzerland is they have outlets which have 3 different fixtures. So instead of having just one circular outlet on the wall, it's got 2 of those ovals there, and on the other side of this couch there's another one here, so you can plug in 3 of the adapters to switch to 110. And I'm suspecting, so anyway, we stayed here last year, but we got a more expanded deluxe place, which includes this living room. So it comes with this kitchenette, which has a microwave, stovetop oven. I think anything's in here that we can get to. Now, I was not thinking clearly when I gave you a description of this kitchen. This is a refrigerator, and I needed to pull harder on the handle to get it to pop open. But as you'll see in my description, I thought nothing was in there that I could get to, but no, it's a refrigerator in this corner. Not much storage there. And then in here, they have all the dishes, basic dishes you'd need to do a little cooking on your own. There's really no space to store food in this cabinet. And I can't get in the top either here. So the last place we stayed had, you'd walk in and you'd walk past this, and then immediately you'd have the bed. So this has a lot more space, more closets. Same problem as most any place in Europe. The divider for the shower door only goes out a certain distance, and so you just try to keep the water in there the best you can and soak it up with the bath mat when you're done. So this is Appart'City. And it's located at the end of 3 different bus lines which go to the heart of downtown, and it comes out here to Vernier Village, which is sort of across the street that starts. Now, what was tough to figure out here, well, this is also power on, power off, but they leave a card here to stay here so we don't have to mess with our own getting in and out of the apartment keys every time we come and go. Now, what's a little confusing here is this control, which has temperature control, and I'm not sure what diff does for the house control, and then this, which is actually the this right outside the window, right outside the curtains, is slide down Rolatens, as they're called in Germany. I'm not sure what they're called in French-speaking Swiss. And so we started this when we got here. We couldn't figure out how to make them go down, and then we stepped out for a while and there they were down. And then today has been such an overcast day that we've been able to leave them in the full open position. But a normal sunny day this time in June, you really get overheated. So once it gets to the bottom there, I'll be able to change the tilt so that you can see outside, which has several settings for that. And what this does is it blocks the direct sunlight. Okay, well, it went to the tilt I had selected. And then the next one up. Okay, so that's more of a straight angle. And then this is that's fully straight. But to keep the sunlight out, we were using this tilt, which blocked the direct sunlight from shining into the room, and the heat stayed on the shades and reflected away. Now, I thought that if it was on 21 degrees centigrade Celsius, that it would activate the air conditioning. But I haven't found any sign of the blower activating for air conditioning, so my suspicion is they probably have heat but not air conditioning. So if you get some sweltering hot days, you can lower the settings so that it never gets above 21, because the heat will turn on, but you can't get it down to 21 by the cooling method. So anyway, we were happy that we could get this going down, and then today with the overcast, that we were happy that we could get it to go up so that we had some light coming in the apartment. Breakfast is included till about 10 a.m. on weekdays and 11 a.m. on weekends. I made a video about this a year ago for 5 different places we stayed in Europe, And I'll put a link for that video below the video frame here. Oh, and since I came here with this coughing illness, it was extremely helpful to have the couch in here so I could close this off and sleep on the couch, and there's a whole bunch of extra pillows here. I could sleep on the couch and not keep my wife awake all night. Made for a much better vacation for her, even though I feel sort of miserable most of the time. She's out in an opera right now in the evening. So this is Geneva. Included with our rent is the town authorizes free mass transit on these buses, and so this is the turnaround point, and they run on these electrical wires above the roadway, and so they turn around here and then end up on the bus stop on the other side. Most of them are what I call slinky buses, so they bend around corners. Some of the buses are even longer than that. They have 2 slinkies the length of the bus. This is Geneva, Switzerland. June 2024, just after 8 p.m. And this is the famous lake on which Geneva sits. Incorrectly called Lake Geneva. The term they use is Lac Le Monde. And along this section near the downtown area is a park running the length of it for probably a couple miles. You can get drinks and some food at this facility. There's lots of parking slips for sailboats, but there's a fair amount of greenery. And but the reason I came back is actually this strange structure here. I was here a day or 2 ago. I'm impressed with this structure, which I'll talk about shortly. On a calmer day, there's a water spout with a pump that pumps the water up into the sky, but with the wind levels today, it's probably turned off. It's really not suitable. I would say on this side of the lake there's more paving, whereas there's this greenery area on this side of the park, and you can walk, it seems like a couple miles along this park area. So in one of the map areas I saw that there's supposed to be a restaurant at this location. So when I got up to this gravel walkway, I thought I'd check it out. My wife is extremely doubtful, and she just sort of walked up further along the beach towards the boat area there. And I sort of sat, after I was done, I sort of sat on this funny little concrete pillar there, which I guess could be used to tie down boats in heavy winds, but I'm not sure what the real purpose is. I used it as a seat. So in this enclosure, which is actually, I don't know if that's open or glass, I think it's open at the top. There's all these doors. Okay, so 4 on this side, handicapped, not sure, closet, and 4 on this side, and then red, I guess, means occupied. So anyway, where's the payment? Oops, I'm sorry. So So there was no payment. I go, well, how do you lock this thing? Obviously that woman didn't have an idea. So this is the lock. And then the green one on the bottom is for exit. A very common sortie, Ausgang sort of exit. And this is a large toilet bowl. Okay, standing at almost knee height for me, a person who's almost 6 foot, slightly over 6 foot. But I didn't really realize at the time of its level of versatility. So this one's sort of stuck in there, but there's paper in there, and this one's paper you can pull out. And so it has all these icons here. This one with water droplets, which is a sort of sink. This one, more than that, sort of a spray out. And this one is the toilet flush. So man standing up can come in, squirt, and leave, and not really use all the high-tech stuff here. This one is this one is a hand dryer. So here's the seat for anybody who needs to sit for anything, and it keeps stand-up men from messing it up. Here's a huge flush. So anyway, I hadn't even seen these I hadn't even seen these top two icons for slow water and spray water. And I guess this is for disposal of paraphernalia. So anyway, I didn't make a mess with my hands any more than I could take care of with a water bottle. So I sort of dried off a little bit using these, pulling these paper things out. And not sure I figured out where the garbage here. Okay. And then it was an easy thing to unlock. So as far as these icons, I didn't get it right either. This first one, if I'd felt what came out, I would have realized the first one is soap, and the next one is water. So at least I figured out how to lock the door. So anyway, after I was done, I came back and sat on this little stone thing here, or as much as you can sit on it. It's kind of even too tall for somebody my height. And I sat here for a while, and eventually my wife came and sort of sat next to me. I said, "Oh, did you use the restroom?" She goes, "No, I didn't know anything about it." And I said, "It's the best public restroom I have ever seen in my life." I said, "It's electronic, it's got a door locking mechanism. It's got this huge cone-shaped thing that is used for standing and squirting. And then there's a pull-down seat for anybody who's not going to stand there." And I said, there's little papers that you pull out of the wall. And so she went to check it out. She came back and said, it's the best room that she's ever seen in her life. I mean, we're talking 70. I'm 72, and she's 69. So she also said it's the best public restroom that she's ever seen before in her life. So I came back here just to film this, to pass on this interesting feature of Geneva, Switzerland. Now there are no signs saying what those things are inside. You got to be able to sort of say, oh, lock, unlock, oh, exit, water, drip, water, squirt. So obviously, the woman who was in that first stall I opened hadn't figured it out. She just needed to go to the bathroom. But you know, it's great. It's great.